Time. Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to another Lost Masters podcast. Today it is the 7th. Well, no, it's actually the 11th. My bad.
7-Eleven.
It's
We
7-Eleven.
start over. We messed up. We gotta start over
Nah,
now.
one take. That's all I'm doing. Let me put it this way. They know me. One take. That's all I'm doing. It's July 11th, 2020.
7-Eleven.
7-Eleven.
Y'all got the Slurpees? You got the Slurpees right now?
99 cents Slurpees at 7-Eleven. Don't quote me on that.
I hope.
But today,
Who's going out to get a Slurpee right now in the middle of the coronavirus? I should be that person.
I did that. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I can't.
Now we gotta welcome our kings, our cosmic beings. Starting from, well, I guess we're gonna start from the name order. So go ahead, Hector. Introduce yourself.
What's going on, everybody? It's Hector here. You can find me on Macho Channel on YouTube or Hector_Ram, capital II on Twitter. I write reviews and video game news for lordsofgaming.net, cbr.com. Come check me out.
Next person.
What's going on, my fellow residents? It's me, the Frozen Cavern. I do reviews for old license-based games usually. There are some other games that I do that are more modern, but most of the time I usually do license-based games.
Next person.
VERAPH Varath is in the building. What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing?
Okay, since we're doing a spelling contest, next person.
You know, I was thinking of following up like a little spelling thing, but no,
Oh, you should.
I'm good.
Nah, do it.
Bro, do it.
Got
Do it.
I think we're good considering how long the name is.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna leave it at, hey guys, it's Win from the Winlight Hub channel, and you can find me at YouTube at Winlight Hub and Twitter. So yeah, that's it.
Remember, that's One Light Hub, not Pornhub. But
Yeah. Please be careful. I don't want some of you to look up the name and then you type in hub and other things come up. That I've heard of it. It's just, please be careful.
All right. We got a lot of topics to go over today because there was a lot of shit with the PS5, a couple of other things that happened over the month of June and July. So actually, let's start off with the PS5 event. First, we're gonna talk about your thoughts. Then we're gonna talk about a couple of games that were announced. Then we're about to talk about that price that they keep hiding from us, but we kind of have an idea now. First, let's just talk about the event. What you guys think? Hector, you wanna start off, or Wayne, which one?
Hector, you wanna go first?
Sure. We're talking about the PS5 reveal event, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so off the bat, the games that were shown was a mix of I was bored and then some really hype moments. I think we could all really guess what kind of like were the hype moments, which we came to Miles Morales Spider-Man. That was a really great surprise. Horizon Forbidden West. Yeah, Horizon Forbidden West. Resident Evil 8 looking amazing.
Bloodborne too.
Yeah, so there's some... Oh my god, I wish. I was
That's
really
what it
hoping
looks
for...
like.
Yeah, I was really hoping for that. But I mean, I just finished playing Resident Evil 7, so I couldn't be any more hyped for that. And then the console reveal, it threw me off a little bit on what the PS5 is going to look like, especially the color scheme. But after a while, it kind of grew on me. It looks better vertically than horizontally, for sure. Yeah. But overall, it looks pretty great. And from like a rating standpoint, we'll rate the actual show. I gave it like a 7 for some great presentations, the PS5 reveal, the fact there's the digital edition as well. I thought it was really cool. Overall, like a nice solid 7.5 for me on the whole show.
All right. That's fair. When?
Ooh, okay. So he covered a lot of the things I wanted to cover. I think initially I wasn't really expecting much. I thought it was going to be just like what do they do? Like their version of like the PlayStation Direct. I thought it was, if anything, I was like, I'm not really expecting a lot. I'm gonna expect a couple of console exclusives and everything, and I'm gonna expect this to hopefully look good, not like ass. And I gotta share, like, honestly, like in terms of the console, I'm fairly certain that it threw a lot of people off. A lot of people were probably like, ooh, this is kind of weird. But then it kind of grew on a lot of people. Like, it definitely grew on me. I mean, despite all of the memes about it looking like a PlayStation 2 in between like a binder, it honestly is fine. I think it looks good, actually. I think it like definitely looks like they have this weird like future aesthetic that is definitely gonna probably they took a risk. I'll say that in comparison to the Series X, which just was more so like the same design but just bigger. That's it. This definitely looks nice. I like some of the games they've already presented. I think some of the games like Miles Morales, obviously, which no one was expecting. I don't think anybody could have thought, oh, Spider-Man. So that was fucking amazing. I think another one that I'm personally excited for because I didn't think we would be getting another game, especially with the fact that Spider-Man is a thing now. Ratchet and Clank. That was a big surprise for me. That was a big surprise, and seeing how just beautiful that is just nice. I also like a lot of the indie games that they were showing off. Granted, I'm not sure if I'm gonna get them. Like, this is the case of every like E3. Whenever I see, like, I'll see a game that looks really nice and then I'll completely forget about it like right after the presentation. But there's that like cyberpunk cat game that they're doing, which actually kind of looks cute. And then there was another game that they showed off, which was like Pikmin, but it was like almost like a Pixar.
No, that's not. That's definitely not.
There was like a. It was like almost. It looked like a Pixar animation.
Yeah,
almost, but it was like
the Kindred Spirits or something like that.
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was something like that, and that one is one that definitely stuck out to me. And I'm hoping that they're gonna start powering out like a lot of really good ones. Especially because I mean this is in relation to the event that this got leaked. We got Far Cry 6 also happening.
Yep.
So I think PlayStation's in a pretty good position right now.
Yeah, better than they were like
absolutely.
a month ago.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of weird how they changed the pace so quickly within within the past like 2 months, and not only did they get the word out about Spider-Man, a sequel to one of their most successful IPs from this generation, and on top of like weird indie games, along those weird indie games kind of set like a trend with bug snacks. It's kind of weird because everybody was clowning that game, but now everybody's kind of like, yeah, this is actually going to be like a fun thing just to stream. You know?
Right. Kind of, I think, sort of in a sense of like Animal Crossing. At least that's what I was getting a sense of. But
it's so weird. It's so weird.
It's so weird because no one knows what it's about.
I was in like Discord with another group. We had to make sure we didn't hear the wrong word.
Yeah, and I'm sure like they've released information on some of these. It's a matter.
Yeah,
of,
but everybody's trying to guess. Everybody's trying to guess what Bugsnax is, and the developer's like, "Nope, it's not a horror game. It's not this or that." Everybody has their own theories on what this game is.
Can you imagine if it was a horror game? I would be for that. I would be for that if it was a horror game. It looks all cute, and then the game starts glitching out like it's got in creepypasta.
Yeah,
it's a marketing. It's a social media marketer's dream, just to everybody just talking about the game, and they don't have to do anything. It's like free advertising for them.
Yeah, and sometimes that's a good thing, and sometimes it's a bad thing. I'm looking at you, Death Stranding.
We don't talk about that anymore.
Look at The Last of Us stuff. That had bad press for months before it came out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Months. And it sold 4 million in like what, 3 days?
Yeah, and that was like that was the complete opposite. It was like, yeah, we know what happens, and then it was an issue for somebody.
Like, oh, never mind.
I mean, it was one of those games, and I'm not gonna like spoil anything.
We'll go into it a little bit later, but I wanted to give Frozen and Adam's thoughts on the event. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm just saying.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
Okay, who wants to go between you two?
I guess I can go first.
Sure.
So, overall, I enjoyed the event a lot. There were a lot of games that I'm excited for. Ratchet and Clank looks pretty cool. I don't have as much of a connection to Ratchet and Clank, but I know a lot of people that are Ratchet and Clank fans are excited for that. I am excited for Spider-Man Miles Morales, and the instant I saw snow, I was like, I'm sold. I'm getting it day one.
Spider-Verse,
Yeah,
let's go.
All it took was snow to,
All it took
to
was
get me to
Christmas.
buy the game.
Frozen was like, ooh, Christmas.
What is it, Batman Arkham Origins? So.
Yeah, me
But
bad.
it's kind of the same case with when where a good amount of the games I kind of forgotten at least what their name is because there were just a lot. But
Yeah.
I'm also excited for Horizon not Zero Dawn, Forbidden West. I keep calling it that, but I need to get used to calling it Forbidden West. But anyways, we just need to really hope that Horizon is not released the same time as Breath of the Wild again, because that happened last
Ooh.
time. And
Oh, yeah.
it sold well, but people didn't talk about Horizon Zero Dawn because
Right.
of Breath of the Wild. So
And it was one of the best games on PlayStation 4. High key,
Right.
it got so just swept under the rug. It was one of those games where it's
I know.
it's good, but no one played it.
and
that's
the
the
I know,
games
it
are
makes me sad.
so
It
similar
makes me
too.
sad.
So it's
That's the game that made me. Well, for a little background, I let my friend borrow my Wii U as Breath of the Wild came out, and I played maybe a good 10, 16 hours of it. I let him borrow it, didn't play the game for a while, but then I played Horizon Zero Dawn. I couldn't go back to Breath of the Wild.
Wow.
Dang.
It was Horizon Zero Dawn lasted that kind of an impression on me where I just couldn't go back to Breath of the Wild because I wanted more out of the world.
Yeah. Adam, did you give your thoughts yet?
No.
Go ahead, King.
All right.
Go ahead, Pimpin'.
I think everybody said, games look great. Some games definitely looked really weird, like that Monster High School game. That looked mad weird to me.
Tumblr the game.
Yeah. Good
Yeah.
God.
Yikes.
And then I think my only gripes and complaints with it was, number one, the console's white. I don't like that because, I know they're trying to keep the console and the controller scheme the exact same, but I just like it black when PlayStation has made most of their consoles black or gray or whatnot. But
It looks sleeker than mine.
yeah, and then number two, no price. It's that's actually a big disappointment. I thought they were gonna take the initiative to show a price. I know they're trying to beat Xbox in terms of price, but you don't need to always you can offer more and charge a little bit more. So
Yeah, I'm like, yo, I gotta know how I'm gonna make my OnlyFans. I'm gonna charge that.
Because I think what was the rumor price? It was $700.
Yeah.
600.
I said, ooh,
By the
Oh,
way,
I keep seeing
With the-
600.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's 600.
What are you saying, Frozen?
but with the white design of the the PS5, it's going to look so weird because I have a bunch of consoles because I play license-based games and I have 6 of them and each of them are black.
Yep.
So having one
What-
white
what-
console is going
It's gonna be the
weird.
white sheep
And it's
of
the
the group.
biggest one because the PS5 is gigantic.
yeah.
Word.
It's gonna
Oh.
look so weird.
I will say though, one thing that really wowed me was the power of the SSD. Seeing Ratchet and Clank just moving through levels was
God,
so crazy. It wasn't perfect.
Yeah.
it was
But
so
it was-
smooth, and I'm hoping it stays that way.
Yeah.
They can do that with no frame drops or anything.
My
But,
thoughts
you
on it. There's a lot of games I like. The one thing that I got super hyped for was Spider-Man. Of course, y'all know me. But also, it's
Remember the first time?
hey, that was embarrassing. But yeah, Spider-Man, Demon Souls. I was super hyped for that. I think I'm the only one that was super hyped. And Ratchet and Clank. But after that, I was like, I don't remember a lot of games besides the one where you eat people, which was Bug Snacks. And everything else was literally a blur to me. I saw 2K.
Yes,
That's
SpongeBob. See, weren't we joking about 2K last time? I could've
Yeah, we
sworn
was like,
joked
watch
about
it happen. Dude, like, watch.
I low-key forgot about 2K being there.
Legit, I was like, watch them bring out 2K again because that's the only thing they can think of. How do we get basketball people to play our games?
They were like,
Bring
oh my
out
god,
2K.
look at the sweat drops on a pre-rendered cutscene.
I was like, I
That
wanna see
wasn't
this.
even like fully completed yet, because like that's not even like the final version of it.
Yep.
In my head, I was like, I don't want to see this. They're like, look, he's sweating. I was like, I don't want to count the sweat drops.
I don't want to see sweat. I don't want to see sweaty basketball players. You think I want to? I want to be able to like see the BO coming off of my character. I'm good.
I'm done.
Dog, I cared more about snow than I cared about sweat on the character.
I mean, hey, and the best thing about it is because that game is taking so much influence from fucking Spider-Verse, which was a really successful movie. So, well, critically, but not.
Yeah,
in terms
not
of box
financially.
office.
Well, we're still on the topic of the PS5, so we're gonna talk about the prices and what we think it's gonna be. So, who wanna go first on this topic of bankruptcy? I mean, prices.
All right.
Also,
I'm gonna
no,
take a
our
swing.
OnlyFans are not gonna be available by the time the PS5 comes out.
I'm gonna take a quick swing at this. So, base version with the standard disk drive and everything, it's gonna be $499 US, and then if you want the digital version, it's gonna be $440 for digital.
That's fair.
Save a little bit.
I feel like there's gonna be a little bit more, but I can see that. Next person. Y'all know me, I go last.
I guess I can try and go next. It's also really weird because like there's a bunch of other stuff that's with the PS5 as well. Like there's a headset and like some other things too. So I'm just like, I don't plan on using these things, but I'm probably gonna have to get them with the console, and that's going to increase the price anyways, and I'm gonna hate that. But I'm trying to remember. There is backwards compatibility with PS4, so that's another factor too.
Well, some games, not all.
Well, yeah, some PS4 games, but not all of them.
Yeah.
So it would either be like $500 or $600 for the base version.
Okay.
Yeah, that's reasonable. Next person.
You know,
I'll
honestly,
go.
I'd agree with it.
Oh.
Well, no, you go for it. Go for it.
Oh no, okay, so I agree with Frozen. I think it has to be like around like the 500 range. 'Cause how much is the PS4? Like what, 400?
Yeah.
So hopefully it's gonna be like 500 and not like 600, 700. I think because the rumor was that it was gonna be around the same price as the PlayStation Plus. I feel so sorry for the people that got that because now they're just like, God damn it. Ooh. But it's one of those things where I hope that that's the price. I've already seen the rumored prices of a lot of these games being $70. So there's
Yeah,
that.
that is
So
also something I've been seeing. So I'm just like,
I'm hoping they just take it up just a little bit, just a little bit, not too much, just a little bit. Because I think weren't PlayStation 3 games like 50? And
Yeah.
then it was 60, and now it's 70. So I'm hoping that it's not gonna be like it's not gonna cost too much in comparison to like some of the other like consoles that we've had.
Next person. Hector, you're the last one, and then me.
All right. I think considering COVID and the fact that there's two different versions for the PS5, I think that the chunky one is going to be $550, $600, and then the digital one's going to be $100, $50 less. So $450 or $500. And again, we're talking considering COVID and some financials being impacted or people not having the luxury to buy these games this year. I think that's going to be a consideration for Sony.
Yeah.
And again, considering the price of next gen games, which is not confirmed for every type of game, but for 2K especially coming out of the gate at $70. Yeah, and it's also that kind of price can match Xbox Series X, which is rumored to be around the 500, 600 range. We'll see how that goes because Microsoft can just throw a curveball at us and make the Series X crazy low, and then have the Lockhart come out at the same time, and that be an extremely affordable price.
Yeah.
We'll have to see when it comes to that, because Series X is not playing any games. Xbox themselves not playing any games when it comes to competition. At the same time, you have Phil Spencer also going on record saying it's not about how many consoles we sell, which could probably mean that the Series X could be a more affordable price than we're thinking, or it could be a higher price than we can assume. Both companies are going for different kind of philosophies here, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, PS5 for me, I would say 550, 500 to 600 range, and then the digital edition would be $50 to $100 less.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of gonna go with everybody here with like the 500 to the 50 range, because I'm like, they gotta remember, like, the consoles, while they're powerful, they tried to do it where they were way more expensive back with the PS3. Like, if y'all remember, it was $600 for the PS3 in the beginning, and they saw that wasn't working out, and they had to change it up. And that's why people was like, okay, well, the console, like, it went all the way down to $299. Am I saying they're gonna do that? Hell no. We basically have mini gaming PCs now, and gaming PCs are way more expensive than a fucking PS5 or anything, but they're way more powerful and can do a lot more. But I feel like 500 and 550 is around the good range of a price. Now 600, I can feel like that would be probably out the gate for trying it out, and if they have to go, just go down 100. But that's just what I think it is. $70 for the game, though, I feel like that's actually possible. Because, I mean, y'all gotta remember, games back in the day was kind of around that price.
Yeah, I mean, I was just actually talking about this with a couple of people before, and I wouldn't be upset really about the price hike for AAA experiences like Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West, and the next Last of Us or whatever Naughty Dog is doing. And that's mainly because we're kind of used to paying top dollar for these games anyway with these special editions. And how many do we really purchase throughout the year at full price? There's probably like a handful of games that we will go out of our way to say we're getting that day one for the price, for the price of admission.
Yeah.
And if that increases $10, then I think that's something that we probably just have to bite for it to kind of round up these developer costs and how much it costs to make a game. We just have to be more picky with what we buy, and that's nothing new, really.
Well, now I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, it's great if it would be increased within console value, but then, like, regular PCs like us don't really get that special SSD like consoles will. So will that price hike also influence other platforms such as Steam and Epic Games, because we don't get that SSD like speed like Ratchet and Clank does? So
that's a fair point. That's a fair point. That's definitely an argument to be made there for people that game on PC, or even for like Xbox One. Will the price increase be for that? Would be the same thing like what 2K is doing. Yeah, that's interesting.
Cause it's like it's just like how seamless the game moved. Like you kind of see where they're going. But like these take time and money to do that. Yeah. Otherwise, we would have had it a while ago. But yeah, that's a very fair point.
Yeah, I think it's like what I was saying, that they need to show quality within these demonstrations and what next gen games can bring to you. So in that case, the PS5 showcase really only did that for one game that we've seen, but you can expect kind of that same quality to carry over. So yeah, will that $70 be justified for that PS5 version? Possibly. For that Series X, possibly what about for other platforms, like PC, where you won't take advantage of that kind of opportunity. But I guess that also goes back to exclusives and what that console can take advantage with the specs inside, and what games would be doing to take advantage of the specs inside. So, that's it'll be a tough kind of discussion to be had when it comes to stuff like that, and what qualifies as what's your own quality, what do you consider a quality game, a AAA experience, and stuff like that. It's all going to be subjective at the end, I feel.
Yeah. But I think we've talked enough about the PS5. Moving on. Warner Brothers games have pretty much gone for sale now. And there's a bidding war, so it's like Microsoft. And if you're wondering Warner Brothers game, there's people who bring you Mortal Kombat, Injustice, Batman Arkham, Batman Lego series, most of the Lord of the Rings games. Another one, by the way. Just those type of games. They're pretty much now, because AT&T and Time Warner, like, when it comes to DC in general and Warner Brothers stuff, they haven't actually been treating them all that fair, to be honest. So Warner Brothers game is up for sale. What do you guys thought if, let's say, Microsoft bought them or whatever? Like, what do you guys thought? Who wants to go first?
Ooh, that Batman Gotham Knights game is about to be. I mean,
well, isn't that if they get bought, they still won't have the licenses?
They won't have the licenses.
Yes. Which.
So essentially just buying like the studios, like the makers of Mortal Kombat, the makers of Batman, Arkham, whatever. Okay.
Who wants to talk?
Yeah, I mean, you're getting talent. You're getting talent under your brand and under your studios and stuff like that. But a lot of people are probably going to have the impression that they're going to make another Batman game that's exclusive to Microsoft or whatever.
Oh yeah, I've heard of them.
Because Blizzard's even thinking about buying them too.
Which is probably not going to happen. So
because you're shooting yourself in the foot. Because I think is it Spider-Man game? Is that ever going to be coming to the Xbox or the PC?
No.
It could.
Yeah.
Like
it's a possibility, but so far there's no plans.
There's rumors that they're coming to that big game store.
Okay, because then there's that Marvel's Avengers game. I know that's going to be on PS4, but I don't know if that's going to be on the other platforms. Do you think they're just trying to sort of rival that?
No, that's on like every platform.
That's on Xbox? Okay.
That's on PC, Xbox, and PS4. Because that's
that's made by Crystal Dynamics.
Yeah.
What's it called? For when it comes to Spider-Man PS4, that's fully owned by Sony. They have the choice to release that on PC, Steam whenever they want to, just like how Horizon's being released on Steam next month.
Right.
So
glorious.
Yeah, but like for Sony, I think Sony's doing it smart, which is like they're having an exclusivity where you have to play the game on PS4 for maybe like a year or two, and then like maybe they'll switch it over to PC. They won't fully announce it. Like Death Stranding got delayed, and then like Final Fantasy has an exclusivity, but like they after like their deal is done, they can go to whatever platform they want to. So
right.
Yeah, because it's a timed exclusive.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I mean. Oh, wait, so what you're gonna say? My bad.
I mean, because the biggest issue in terms of this, I mean, I understand like Sony's whole mindset with it, but the biggest issue in terms of like license games and stuff is that you're gonna end up losing out on money. That's like the 100 like just that's it, right? Like they're gonna lose money by not putting it on other platforms. I mean, we know what like majority of these companies are trying to do. Warner Brothers, I don't think is going to just be like, okay, it's going to be exclusively this one thing. I think they're still going to have it on on PC and Sony platforms. It might be delayed, kind of like what they did with the Tomb Raider game, Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Or which one? It was Rise or Shadow, whichever one. The second one, I think. But I don't think it's ever going to be to that level where it's like, no, we're just cutting it off completely, and it's only going to be an Xbox exclusive, which is it's a big risk. it's a big risk, especially with like those kind of titles. So I don't know. I'm indifferent about it.
Considering I pretty much buy everything like Batman related or DC related. I mean, yeah, it's like Blizzard. I couldn't see them buying them, and I feel like Microsoft has a bigger chance of buying them out.
I don't want Blizzard to buy them. Like recently, they've just been doing a lot of shady stuff with their IPs, like Overwatch D and Delta, and sorry, not Delta, but Diablo, and it's just a lot of behind the scenes things that they haven't been doing correctly right now. And then like there's even companies like EA that still want to buy out Warner Brothers, which I don't want either. Like Microsoft could buy them, but then they gotta work on something. So
Yeah. Could you imagine you gotta pay $2 extra for a Batarang or a Lego block? That probably what will happen if EA bought them. So I'm like, I don't know.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't know, man. I guess we'll see what happens. But I'm like, I really hope, because as Win said, exclusivity with licensed stuff, you lose money. Because I feel like even if Spider-Man was on Xbox 2, it would make a lot of more money, but it would lose the exclusivity with it. But it made decent money on its own anyway. But it's like, if you put Mortal Kombat only on one console, it's not gonna make as much as the previous games, and it's just gonna flop essentially. And you're gonna keep doing that with different games, because I'm not buying an Xbox for Injustice 3. I'm sorry. Like, you must be out of your monkey picking mind. I ain't doing that.
My question is what is the return rate for Warner Brothers? Because
they haven't told us anything yet on like the pricing. One thing they told us is that the things was being bidden, like things were being bid. And I've looked through multiple articles. I've even went on the website, like the website of the companies, and no info was given.
Because I assume that means that Injustice and Mortal Kombat don't really make a lot of money off of. Because if they're willing to sell the whole company like that, then that's.
They're gonna end up making less.
It's huge. Mortal Kombat was huge. I doubt that.
I doubt it. It's kind of weird that maybe their oh no, I remember what happened now. The company that owns WB is in like a lot of debt. Like I think it's like a couple billion in debt, and they're like, we can recoup a lot of money like really quickly. I remember that now.
Now this isn't off topic, but it's kind of off topic. But it's like, you gotta remember, Diamondback Comics, which is connected to DC, recently shut down and ended their partnership with DC Comics. So it's like, you can kind of see what's going on, because then after that happened, we find out that Warner Brothers Games is going on sale. So I'm like, that's not a coincidence. None of that's a coincidence. And then the DC app is having its own issues right now with keeping shows, which is why Doom Patrol is on HBO Max. And Harley Quinn is going to HBO Max. Like, so Warner Brothers in general is having a little bit of trouble there. Like, I'm not saying anything. I hope nothing bad for the employees, because these are people with jobs. But I'm like, something's going on that they're not telling us, and it's affecting every like market they have.
Oh, even the Snyder Cut. Just to add on, the Snyder Cut is going to be on HBO.
See?
So that's like, it's.
I'm very like concerned, but at the same time, I'm like, what are you not telling us? But I think we've talked. Well, Frozen, did you give your thoughts, or you're not really interested?
It's basically the same things that you guys have stated. I didn't really play that many of like those games. I think the only ones I've ever like played are some of the Lego games. But I have a feeling that they won't make those just exclusive, mainly because I don't remember any of the Lego games being just exclusive, because that would be really weird.
Jesus.
Why would you make a Lego game exclusive to a console? But the Batman games, those could potentially very potentially be exclusive to a console.
That's fine.
Mortal Kombat, I could see timed exclusive maybe, but even then that'd be weird.
It's such a huge budget.
And I don't want Blizzard touching any of that.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I figured out what happened. So the company that owns WB Games, which is AT&T,
Mhm.
they are $150 billion in debt,
Oh
and they
Whoa. That's a grip.
so they need to make money fast. So
Holy damn.
I'm just seeing this from like the perspective of a person and not a company. Probably for like a company, it's like, yeah, that's bad, but that's not as bad as a person.
yeah,
That was a person.
Dog, that's still bad though, because like,
it's really bad.
well, I wouldn't say a lot of workers are getting laid off, but like, something's definitely happening for a lot of people in those jobs.
Yeah. Pay cuts are about to be hella scarce. Christmas about to be looking bleak.
shit. Disney just had to reopen their parks, which is telling, very telling actually, what position they're in.
Cause they can't release any movies. Like movies are mainly their thing. And nobody's going to the movies anymore. Disney Plus has been their most money probably, and I think they had a lot more downloads because of Hamilton. But that's because Hamilton's fucking amazing. But still,
Yeah, and then people still are like, the biggest issue of like streaming services is that, well, people pirate or people just use other people's accounts. So
yep. That's
they
why.
can't really make as much money as they would if they were.
Here's why where I don't feel bad for Warner Brothers, and this goes on more the DC side. Their app that they kept pushing, like, you gotta get this to watch Titans and Harley Quinn and all that stuff. Why is it only available in the US?
Yeah, I don't get that.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, it's
I-
only
I-
available in the US. Yeah, Adam, he's Canadian. He's out of the country. He can explain.
I literally cannot watch. I like even HBO Max is not even available here yet. So I can't watch anything on HBO Max or even the DC app in Canada. I have to either wait for it to come out. Like Titans will come out on Netflix here, which is great. But then like anything else, like for HBO Max, I have to subscribe to another service called like Bell TV or whatever, and it's like 14 or 15 a month. So it's like it's not really worth it. So again, a lot of pricey.
Yeah. So it's like, why is your app like you need to branch out across the world in order to get money, like revenue from every place? Because you're not doing so good, hot AT&T. Like you're not doing hot. Say the number again, please, Adam.
$150 billion.
Yeah, you're not doing too hot there. Like your wallet looking more negative than my bank account. But I don't know. We gonna move on to a happier topic. Cause trust me, we got some topics that I don't want to discuss, but they affect us in some type of way. So we'll get to those. But let's go to a happier one. Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, it's been a while since we talked about that. We got pretty much for the next phase of games, which one is surprisingly a rhythm game, and then there's 3 unknown projects. And then there's Dark Road, but nobody's hot about that one. Who wants to talk about Melody of Memory? Yink, yink.
I can go first because I'll give a happier opinion on Melody of Memories.
No way.
So-
No way.
I can just tell my wind sigh, but like, oh goodness. But I'm actually like decently excited for it, mainly because like one of the scenes in there like showed like actual like fighting along with the music, and I feel like that could be done really well if everything's like actually to the beat of the music, which I'm expecting it to. As a rhythm game, it better be. But I feel like it could work out really well, and of course it has ties to the actual story because it's Kingdom Hearts. Nothing in the entire series is not canon. So
Right.
but it's going to be also weird if this is the Kyrie game that everyone wanted.
I hope not. I hope. Like, I think if anything, this has to be like a I think it's just Japan being Japan. Because what fucking Persona got like
3.
a ton of these. Like, yeah, 3 of them.
I own
Because
every
rhythm
last
games are
one
big.
of them.
Because rhythm games are like a huge thing in Japan. Like everyone's like, oh, this is Nomura's decision. Why would he do this? It's like it probably wasn't his decision. It was probably Square's decision.
Yeah,
At
they just
most.
used the game. So
Yeah. I mean, it's like essentially gonna be like what Recoded was to the series. It's like most likely gonna be like, okay, here's, I guess, some gameplay. Here's a retelling of first game, second game, whatever game, and they're gonna drop some like cryptic stuff, some cryptic messages that relate to the next story. So what's up?
I'm gonna make you think your game glitched out.
All right.
Anyone else want to talk about it? Adam?
I'll touch on it.
Oh, okay.
I'm excited for rhythm games so much for Kingdom Hearts. It's what I wanted for a long time. But I'm actually gonna write up something on this, an article on lordsofgaming.net, that it's Nomura just in that cycle again of releasing games on platforms that have to have a tie into the overarching story. Honestly, this started to like really get me upset with Kingdom Hearts Union Kai on mobile, when that just has started to have a huge story. It's just so upsetting. I hate it. I hate it.
It's okay.
It started with Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key on mobile just having such a huge like impact on the story, and that's the reason why Kingdom Hearts 3 is the way it is in terms of a story, which is not like horrible. I don't hate it, but it's just, it sucks that it had to tie into the mobile so heavily and kind of just have its whole premise set up because of the mobile game. And now we're doing the same thing with this rhythm game, where it's gonna have a huge tie into where Kyrie's probably gonna go to from here on out. And it's like, come on, dude. Just, we're okay with having a Kingdom Hearts game that's non-canon. We're okay with that.
Yeah. Adam?
yeah, I agree with Hector. It's like I wasn't mad that there's a Kingdom Hearts mobile game coming out. I thought it was pretty interesting. It's not something for me personally, but I think to the people who like rhythm games, I think it'd be cool for them and they'd probably enjoy it. But my problem with Kingdom Hearts especially is like when Nomura starts adding in very crucial story bits into things that could have been just side expansions, it starts to go from a really fun game to this is now homework and I have to pay attention to these specific cutscenes and come back to these cutscenes later because like these are going to be tied into the bigger overarching story. So it kind of sucks. But at the same time, like I can understand why Nomura did this or why Spirit did this, is because like it will just sell more units because of that, and people will pay more attention to the game because of that. But at the same time, sometimes I just don't want to have to get a game just to do homework.
Yeah.
To figure out the story, you know?
Yeah. Okay, my thoughts on it. I have a significant other that likes rhythm games, and I like them to some point. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. But then at the same time, it's what everybody else saying is like, I don't want to have to sit there and have to concentrate and be like, wait, that's something that happens in the story that affected. Like, cause they always put little things in there. And, shit, from what they're showing us, like, toward the end of the trailer, when they showed, like, the Kyrie stuff and, her fighting, I'm like, but why couldn't this be in a separate game, though? Like, what are you really accomplishing from that? And the one thing I gotta say that I'll give it over Union Cross and Dark Road and all that stuff, at least this is on every console. And it's a console game. Because, like, when I look at, like, Union Cross, like, I'm like, there's so many microtransactions, and then there's, like, levels I don't want to play. And, like, I've tried to give Dark Road a chance, but I can't get into it, because I'm like, Xehanort's story has been told. Like, Wynn said this in the last podcast, Xehanort's story, like, this whole saga has been told already. So I'm like, I'm not interested, I already know what happens, like, I don't care. Like, you introduce characters that are gonna die anyway. Like that's not meant for me to care. Like it's like with the Infinity War thing with Endgame. Like we knew they were coming back. Like there's no interesting twist you can put on it. So it's like I tried Dark Road, wasn't able to get into it. What I'm more excited about is the unknown projects we're getting. Cause if you saw the full like 2020 trailer, they said that there were 3 unknown projects. So, what do you guys thoughts on the 3 unknown projects?
Please be a Zora standalone game. I'm joking.
That could happen.
I think that's where
It's
we're
in the realm
headed
of possibilities.
because there's been rumors about a versus 13 reboot, and obviously we're not going to be getting another version of Final Fantasy 15. So he's probably gonna throw that in with a Yuzora game, which I don't really have that much of an issue with.
Yeah, I don't hate
Kinda
that.
One of the games that I'm predicting is that is going to follow Aqua, Ventus, and Terra in the Realm of Darkness, and is going to also like try to help Aqua with like her PTSD, because like I feel like them going to the Realm of Darkness, like after everything that's happened, they can't just skim over that. Like that's something they cannot skim over, in my opinion.
What the fuck happened, Aqua?
Right?
Like, how come every time we turn off the light,
Like
you
a
pull out a
year
Keyblade?
In like the very beginning of well, the end of Remind, I guess I'll say that, and the end of like the Data org and stuff, or the beginning of the Data org, a whole year gap. There's no reason that there's not a game specifically for the Realm of Darkness.
Yeah.
Right.
Every time they turn off the lights in that room, all you see is
her
Aqua
fucking
pull out a
eyes turn yellow.
Keyblade. All you see is Aqua pull out a Keyblade. Not again.
Oh no, she's still kind of crazy.
Also, I want to see all of them with their armor and their capes again. Kingdom Hearts is the only series that has made me shout over capes, dog.
I miss their Power Ranger outfits so much. I
The
do.
Power Ranger out. Bro. But yeah, and I hope the next project is Kingdom Hearts 4, because I'm tired of waiting whole centuries for next installment.
Yeah, like KH3, they were trying to work in a new engine. We have a new engine now. Please use it. KH4.
And-
we can't delay on this shit now.
Yeah, they have no
Right.
excuse.
And the only reason why KH3 took so long is because like all the assets are from scratch. They
Right.
have to redo everything. They can't, and they didn't outsource any of their assets. So that's possibly why it took so long. But now that we have a lot of those assets, it's going to be a lot shorter to make games. So
When they
Remember
still
from
use the
also
same
running into,
assets from the original for this new game.
mhm.
I
What do you
remember
think?
them
God.
also like running into some development troubles. I forget which year it was. It was like
think
in
it was-
2014 we heard like almost nothing for the game, so it was most
Oh, yeah.
definitely during then when they actually had problems. But I think it was like officially said near the end of 2014 or in 2015 when like they actually said that. But let's just hope that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, I think it's because the Luminous engine was troublesome, and that was Square's own engine, which is crazy. So
I feel like they were just forcing that engine on the people. Like they was like, like there were
Like a
probably
lot of
some,
people are so used to the old shit.
yeah, they were
Yeah.
like, here you have to use this. We've been working on this. We have to use this. And there was probably someone in development like, no, like they didn't understand it.
the other one.
We don't fuck with this one that much. Well, can we get? Can we
It's
get
like
the
we're
other
trying
one?
to do a fuck. Like we're trying to do a 7 remake of 15 and 3. Please help. I don't want to
That's
use this shit.
True, actually. They had to use
Yeah.
all 3 of those.
oh yeah, that was
I would have
that
sued
would
so bad.
That was a time period. We were like, none of these are coming out. And they all did. And we liked them, I hope. I think.
Some
We
of
were
them.
indifferent about We were indifferent about 2 of them. I think we all liked one of them. Well, actually.
Bro, that's terrible.
I had to realize, oh yeah, that's right. A lot of people don't like 7 remake. Because of the that.
I never finished it.
I loved 7 remake, but
I love the choice they did.
yeah. I like choices that make people pissed off, so that was perfect. So, ready for the next topic, everybody?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, my kings. We got this one's a smaller piece of news, but Halo 3 is on PC now.
Yeah.
Let's.
I thought it was already on PC, but yeah. Let's go.
Cause I'm like, I'm actually very excited for this, cause yeah, Halo 3. That was my first Halo, and it's actually gonna make me buy a new gaming PC, cause mine's broke a while ago.
You wanna know what this reminds me of, though?
Which one?
I'm sure, like, I can't be the only one that remembers this. So, like, a long time ago, like, I'm saying, like 2010? 2009,
Okay.
2010, that era. There was, like, this, like, there was a project that was, like, basically Halo 3 on the PC. It's
Oh,
if you, am I the only one that remembers that?
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I think it's like installment 1 or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was something like that. We had that, and then we had an actual, like, Halo game on the PC also. It was, like, made by, like, the fans or some shit.
You know
but
what's
the Halo-
bad? It's so the point you bring this up. I remember seeing it, and this is how old it is. I saw that shit on G4.
Yes. It's so weird because now, like, you sit there and you're thinking about it. We're back in that time period now, where it's just like, this is where we are. This is the thing we're doing. And, I mean, it's great because Halo's on PC. And you all get to play it now.
Yep.
If you haven't played it, please play it.
I suggest
Great
you do.
series.
I was back and
Yes.
forth on playing it, but I don't know. The only first-person shooter that actually interested me greatly was Bioshock series. So
Oh, and we're getting a new Bioshock apparently. That's the thing.
Oh no.
There's
I
it's
hope
been
so.
rumored. I don't even know. It's not even rumored of this. They've confirmed that there's a studio working on it. It's like a studio.
yeah,
I've never heard of
Cloud
the studio.
Something. It's Cloud something.
Cloud-
I think it's a new studio.
Cloudpunk, Cloud City, some shit.
If it's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
Rational Games, I ain't buying it.
That's
He not
where I'm a
dropping
little
them.
concerned. Because it's not Irrational Games, so I'm a little like ooh, but I'm very concerned because we don't know any. We've had no details in the game. We don't know where it's supposed to be taking place,
Well,
what's
yeah,
happening, any of that. It's just happening.
like the young King Adam said, I ain't dropping shit if it ain't a rational game. I ain't dropping 1 cent.
I feel that.
All right, we're in the home stretch, guys. So the last few topics. So this one is only if you played the game. The Last of Us 2.
Oh boy.
Man, this has sparked some debate. Personally, I like the game. Everybody here pretty much has either liked it or haven't played it or is indifferent on it.
All right.
But the unneeded hate, and I need to bring this up because me and Win kind of are starting our own little acting or whatever. Do not go after voice actors and actresses for the role that they have.
Yeah,
They do not
absolutely
control. They do not control the narrative of the game. Not just
Right.
that, they don't control what happened to characters in the game. They are given a role and they are trying to do their job. We don't
They
need
are
them getting
pushing the character forward. That is the whole idea.
exactly.
It should not be this huge thing that's like, oh, this actor is the reason why. Just because of their voice or their likeness in some way, shape, or form is associated with the
Yeah.
character. We've seen this happen before, most famously, the Star Wars franchise.
Yup.
We've seen this happen even with anime, where like you'll
Yeah.
see like like fans send death threats over to voice actors because I don't like this character and the choice they made.
Yep.
I'm gonna say it like this, like without getting into any spoilers. You don't have to like the choice that they made, right? I didn't.
Mhm.
Right. Like I 100% I understand why they made the decision. I get it. But my whole idea is like my personal opinion is that it felt underdeveloped. I felt like there was a chunk of narrative in between The Last of Us 1 and Part 2 that I felt like could have been fleshed out, which is probably going to be fleshed out with this TV show.
Yeah, because
but
they said
I
no
would've-
DLC is like no you know how they had Left Behind.
Yeah.
Right.
They said they are not gonna develop any, like they don't have any plans, but they're gonna try to develop an online mode, which I'm like, Just give it the DLC, because I honestly could care less about the Last of Us Online.
Because I mean, I wanted the multiplayer, and I remember when things were leaking. One of the gameplay leaks I had seen was a multiplayer mode. It was just like the original, obviously updated a bit to fit like how The Last of Us plays now. But I was like still working on that. That's a thing, and I think that's one of the reasons why I ended up getting it. Because I was like, okay, even if I don't like the game 100%, I have a multiplayer mode, which hopefully isn't gonna suck. Because the gameplay of like The Last of Us Part 2 is like probably one of the best things about it. Because to me, everything within that game is done exceptionally well, except the writing. I have a huge issue with the writing, and I think my biggest issue with the fandom has been the fact that everyone's mad about the wrong things. At least the huge collective is mad about, okay, this character dies, this character doesn't do this thing at the end of the game, and
I feel like you can go into
like
spoilers, because did all of us play it or at least seen the story?
I have not seen.
Never mind.
Okay.
Oh.
So I'm just trying to avoid spoilers, but it was like, it's one of those things where they got so frustrated, so upset because they're like, oh, well, I really like this character, and this character deserved, this to happen. They deserve this happy ending, and I'm like, they didn't, because they made this decision. That it just works. It makes sense.
Yeah.
However, my biggest concern is that characters are severely underdeveloped. There are characters that will show up within the story, die, and they'll go back and flesh it out. Like, the biggest issue is just structure. It felt like this game, if they wanted to do, because I don't think this is a spoiler at this point, they wanted to go for the dual protagonist narrative. What they should have done is they should have fleshed out the other character, because the thing is that everyone has grown this attachment to our main protagonists, right? The ones that are actually carrying the story. The issue is that they should have, if anything, gone through and just develop the other character and kind of pull a near automata for people that have played that. So once it comes down to that point in the game, there is this huge sense of conflict, not for like the story, not just the story, but for the player. So you're like, I don't know who I really want to root for in this situation. Do I root for this person or do I root for this person?
Yeah.
Because that's how you kind of divide people. This one sort of just says, all right, we're going to make this decision without giving you any sort of context beforehand, unless you looked at the leaks. And then we're going to just go back, flesh this out, have a whole story. This is my biggest issue. Have a whole story that's completely unrelated to the main game. And then we're going to just drop everything else in.
Yeah.
This game is not a 4. It is not a 5. I don't even think this game to me isn't a 10. It's not a fucking masterpiece. It's not like a masterpiece of storytelling or anything. It's nothing new. It's a revenge story. Well, if you want to be honest, it's really that kind of story. But for people that have played the game, you know what I'm talking about. But it just needed more to it, like they tried to sort of, I see that they were trying to build what they could out of what they were trying to go for, but it just didn't end up with the expectations of the first game it set. This one didn't live up to it. I'll be 100%. I just did not get that from it. I just feel like, if anything, it's not a masterpiece in terms of storytelling. It's good in terms of games. It really lets you know how far we've come with the PS4, especially if you go back and play like The Last of Us 1 on like the PS4. It's like, wow. But story is characters are fine, but they're underdeveloped. The gameplay is great. I had a lot of fun with it. Maybe something's wrong with me. Maybe I have issues, but I had fun killing people.
mean, we do it in other games, so I don't see the point. My real thoughts on it again. Well, I feel like this game there should have been 2 games. I'm like they had enough story to give us a separate game, and they didn't, and that's what I felt like. Everything felt congested. Like you can add Hector, wasn't I always hitting you up on Twitter telling you my thoughts about it?
Yep.
And he knows.
We had the same kind of thoughts around it.
Yeah.
I actually agree with this now. I actually fully agree with you. Because if they split it into 2 games, it would be so much better than what it is right now.
Because you could just flesh it out. Like I think this should have been Last of Us 3.
Well, here's my idea on it. Well, that's another idea that I think they could have went with, and this is coming from someone who hasn't played the game, but I definitely know a lot more about the story than people are just playing through it. It's because I watched all the cutscenes and everything, and my idea around it was that you could have played as one character, which is a character we all know that we wanted to play as and see their story progress. We could have played as that character, and that could have been like the game itself, and then the other character you play as could have been an unlockable campaign. I feel like that could have been a little better.
That makes a lot more sense.
That would have been better than what they tried, the weird pulp fiction-y structure they tried to go for. Because it gets weird when you're like, okay, here's this character story. Now we're gonna halt the entire story because now we're introducing this character who you've already seen, but now we have to go over their story. So here's a flashback. Actually, no, as a matter of fact, here's a flashback within a flashback within a flashback. And it's like, okay. It's kind of odd. And what I honestly think they should have done. This game should have actually had focused on building a relationship between Ellie and Abby. I think it would have been a lot more heartbreaking. I think this would have been like a lot more heartbreaking if it was if anything we're like we have Ellie going on like a different journey or something, probably similar to like her hunting down like the Raiders or whatever. Have that Raider faction, take those 2 Raider factions, conjoin both of them, make them like the same faction. Have Ellie and Joel go after this faction for whatever reason, right? Maybe they're going on a journey like the first one that ends up kind of going haywire. And then let's say Ellie gets separated from Joel, and then Ellie ends up meeting Abby in the middle of all this. Abby becomes your new companion. You build a relationship with Abby.
It's a shame he's writing a better game than them in like 5
and then
minutes.
Towards the end, you make that decision once Abby realizes who Ellie's with. And then that leaves us like shit.
Adam, because you seem to be having issues, I'm gonna let you go next.
I would not enjoy that. That's all I can say. I would not enjoy if the whole narrative works. Like for me personally, the whole narrative works if Abby and Ellie do not have a relationship, but I want to get into detail because that's going to get into spoilers. So
I mean, well, I see what you mean though. Like I can get that because it's that hatred kind of thing kicking in with that theme that they were trying to sort of hit with us. But I was just thinking that would have been a different approach. At least to me, I think it kind of gives players a sort of reason to sort of want to understand Abby a bit more, or just give Abby a standalone game. I don't know. It just felt very out of place.
I honestly felt like her gameplay called for a standalone game because I was having fun with Abby more than I was with Ellie when it came to fighting people. Because I felt like Jason was going after people. Like it was cool.
I think because Abby sort of like, if I'm gonna be real, Abby played a lot more like Joel from the first game. Ellie plays like Ellie from the first game, just stronger and able to, more capable of that, like actually pulling some shit off. And that's something that I like. I like a lot. I just like having fun. I just felt like
I feel bad for
something that feels severely underdeveloped with this movie. I'm just like,
I felt bad for Ellie back in the first game because I was like, they are beating the hell out of this little white girl.
For real. And then they continue to do that.
Yeah, throughout the whole game, I'm like, they out here beating the hell out of this little white girl for no reason. I was like, I can't be two-piecing her. She like
It's
16.
weird. Because a lot of people hate Ellie, not Ellie, Abby, right?
She
People that
grew
know,
on
you know
me.
why. I felt like Abby was fine, but I just felt like that was it. I didn't care about her story because if we're gonna just continue to like just keep the exact same story, it should have been us going like I think this would have been choppy too, but it should have been kind of a going back and forth game, or it should have been told chronologically. It shouldn't have been like this, because it just feels odd. Because then we get more time to develop these two. Then we get then we're able to see like, you know, Abby's perspective, because obviously you have these characters right here that are introduced to us when we're playing Ellie. We don't really give a shit after they're dead because fuck it, who cares? But the whole idea is that like, you know, we're supposed to feel bad. I think it would have been worse if we were introduced to them as, you know, as Abby, right, in her campaign. And then, you know, we're meeting them and everything, and then we see Ellie's side, and we're like, oh shit, okay, ooh, I don't want you to kill all, and you know, like that kind of thing. Because now we have an understanding, but it's weird, because when we go back in time and we see all these characters, we just, you know, give a shit. By that point in time, we would have already made our like opinion. Well, most people would have. But I get what they're doing. They're trying to like say, okay, here's some people that you hate. Here's some pieces of shit, at least in the first half of the game. Now here's everything from another perspective. They're, you know, they've got their shit together. They're doing all this. You know, they've built the society. They're doing some good shit.
Yeah.
They're not horrible people. It's just a matter of perspective. I just felt like it was a little odd. It's just jumbled. It's just structure. Structure-wise, it's a little weird.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's one of my complaints about when I saw the leaks. And to be honest, I really did ruin myself when it came to the story after seeing the leaks. And I do regret it because I felt like I'd have a completely different opinion if I just played it the way it is. But yeah, it's one of my main problems was the story structure of it all and whether I could actually be empathetic or care for Abby. And seeing the leaks, I feel like I kind of just sunk the boat with that. But I mean, it is what it is. I'll eventually play it, but because right now I'm good.
Adam, did you have anything else you wanted to say? Because you kind of went in.
No, I'll save it for a review. Don't worry about it.
All right, we'll make.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, don't. Frozen, you got anything you want to say? Oh, he's typing right now. Before we. Oh, go ahead. Okay.
Really? Mainly because like I didn't play Last of Us 2, and I'm probably not going to, mainly because it's just it was going to be on my agenda, but then all the stuff that happened behind the scenes, and I'm like, yeah, nah.
Honestly.
Now we're gonna go into some topic that happened recently, and I know what you're saying, like we probably shouldn't, but we went into Black Lives Matter. We went into a bunch of like serious topics towards the end of the last podcast, which I feel like we're more gonna give our opinions on certain things. And even I'm not completely comfortable talking about this, but it has to do with Evo getting canceled and what's going on with Smash and all this.
Oh boy.
And
Can we really call it the Smash community now? We're really gonna do that?
we're not gonna say the Smash community. We're gonna say certain members.
Is it okay for me to interrupt?
That's all
sure,
good.
go ahead. I don't know.
Yeah, my name is Volvex and Grindara, and I'm a YouTube channel, so you know, I'm just introducing myself right now. So
He's also the guy that does all the
awkward introductions
thumbnails.
later.
He's also the guy
Yeah,
that
I
does
also
all
do
the
the
thumbnails.
thumbnails. Follow me on Twitter. Well, I deleted my Twitter. Well, follow me on my YouTube channel. And yeah, that's it.
But
All right.
Welcome.
yeah, we're about to get into some serious topics. Again, this is we're not gonna go in.
Allegations.
Yeah, allegation. we're not gonna go into any names because again, if I feel like we're gonna go into names, then that, or we're not gonna go into super detail. But I do want to hear everybody's thoughts on it because it's generally a very, it affects us all because I'm mainly a fighting game channel, so it's like I can't go to Evo anymore. I know for damn sure I ain't going to no more Smash tournaments because for a while
I think it's. I'm gonna be honest. I think it's a little hard to not drop names with this situation, considering the
do you guys
person who created Evo also.
do you guys feel comfortable with that though?
Jesus Christ.
All right. I only have one comment to say.
All right, go ahead, Adam. Speak your truth, King.
To all the underage people involved, I feel sorry. Y'all shouldn't have to experience that. To the people who are doing it to these underage people, especially very popular people and people who are using your power to, you know, like get in that type of situation, even though you knew what the circumstances was going on, y'all are wrong, and y'all need to get some professional help. Seriously help. Like, that is just messed up in too many levels.
Some of this shit really. It just.
Go ahead and speak your truth, bro.
It's disgusting, bro. It's disgusting.
Initially when I had seen some of this, I'm like, damn, okay, everybody's getting outed. Once I like started seeing like all the amount of people, we're over 100 plus.
What the fuck? I didn't know
What
what that
the
means.
fuck? I did not know
level,
that.
that is a level just in the fighting game community alone. 100. That's like damn near the entire community.
Literally.
Everyone. It absolutely like.
Bro, everyone's
hurts
here.
to see that everyone's here in jail. It's one of those things where it's just like I could not just try to like sideswipe it or like ignore it. It's there, right? And it's one of those things where everyone, you know, you have a lot of these people that are forgiving them because they're, you know, they've looked up to some of these people, and that is something to me that I just want to say that if someone is outed for this, it is not in your place to forgive the perpetrator of these acts. You cannot. You cannot sit there and be like, oh, well, you did this, but you feel bad. It's okay, we forgive you. Because you weren't affected. This didn't do shit to you, right?
Yeah.
The people that are like, that have come out about this, I feel just so much for all of them because it's bad. You know, like, you know, you sit there and you look at this community and so many people wanted to be involved in this community, and then this shit happened.
Yeah.
And then we saw like what was going on. We saw how people were like abusing their power, and I mean, it's almost like in a way the Me Too situation, right?
Yeah.
It exposed a handful. There's still people out there that have done things that are not being exposed, right?
Yeah.
And hurts, it really does. That we went from 9 to 90 to
like
100. That's kind of insane. And it's just an abuse. Like Adam said, if you're someone who's going to abuse your power on people that are younger, right? And then this has sparked discussion about whether or not we should have, you know, this Smash event even involve all ages, right? In the first place. That's been like a huge, that's been something that's been debated within the fighting game community for a bit, because of course we had the situation with, you know, one of the people,
evil,
of course, taking, well, not even one, multiple people taking advantage of minors, because they're like, oh, you know, we'll go over this and whatever, and then this leads to like something else.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, this person's affected. This person's stuck in the not being able to speak out about it. And I know you said don't name anybody, but it's,
if you have to, go ahead. I'm not gonna.
It's
people have said
it's
it
impossible not to name it. And I mean, granted, I'm not gonna name anybody new. We all know some of these people. Of course, we had the situation of Zero, right?
Yeah.
We had situations like that. We had
The one with
situations.
Nairo.
The one that got me was the situation with Senpai. That was.
Yeah,
oh
that was
God.
the one that got me. Like, I had a legit
That was
anxiety
one
attack
that
with
was that just disturbed me to like no end, just because of what happened and how that just it just didn't it just sitting there thinking about so much of that just got to me.
Yeah.
And then for people to sit there and deny that just because, oh, I like this person, is insane.
It's a shame because it's been happening even with like the male and the female thing with it, because it's like showing double standards, but also it's like arrest all of them if they've been proven. And if it's been, cause I'm not saying if there's no proof, don't do it, but if it's
Right,
proof, go for it, because that's a damn shame. Go ahead, because what I have to say, I have a lot to say, because as a child, I was a young competitor when I used to play tournaments, so go ahead.
Oh no, I'm really what I was gonna say is because there are, like, I will say this, there were a few of these that were falsified, right?
Yeah.
However, for everyone that's like, okay, well, right off the bat, I like this person, I know this person, so I have to like say this. I'm gonna try to be skeptical about all this. And I mean, I'm not gonna tell anybody how to think about this situation, but personally, I am somebody who believes survivors when they come out about this shit, because it's sometimes like they have to go public with some of this.
Yeah.
Some people say, oh, why don't they handle this privately? Because sometimes when they go to the police don't do anything. There's been like I've heard so many stories like that.
Yeah.
And I know people who have done it that have just gotten screwed over. It's not easy at all. I've had to help multiple people that have been going through this shit, and it's just one of those things where I can't sit there and fathom why someone would even try to use their platform to silence people,
Yeah. That's the reason why I can like glance over this and like say, oh, we're just gonna have a happy normal podcast, but no, stuff's been happening, and it affects gaming in general, because it affects how we're gonna be looked at. Not just the Smash community, but as people who play games, that they're gonna look at us like how they see these bigger platform people. And that's why I can't just sit there and say, oh, we're just gonna have, it's not gonna be a topic, because no, it's like with the Black Lives Matter thing. It affects us all, because most of us here, no, all of us here are minorities.
Yeah.
All of us here are. And
I think we're all minorities.
Yeah.
about to say, all of us here are black or Hispanic. And we, not all of us live in the United States, but we're still all affected. But with this is even worse, because we all play games, we all play together, but there are people out there that are trying to mess that up.
Right.
Frozen, did you have anything you want to say on it? Because I kind of have a long little thing I need to say.
There's a good amount of things. One
Go
is
ahead.
that like
Speak your king truth.
nothing happened at my
Speak your-
college to my knowledge, but like for us, we have like a Smash scene at our college, and like for a period of time we just weren't allowed to use like a particular room on campus because of this exact situation. Like people would think this would happen, and like everyone who was at that club was like, no one would ever do that. There's like I think 2 minors that go to the like tournaments that we have there, but like nothing ever happened to my knowledge. And then all this stuff happens, and it's just like, great, that's fun, my goodness. And then for a good amount of time, I have not been able to look at Smash the same, like at all, because like for a period of time, anytime I saw a Smash video, I'm just like, I can't click on any of these. I just can't click on any of these, especially when I see certain people in like the thumbnails or titles or whatever, and I'm just like, dope, I literally can never do anything with these videos again.
Speaking of which, the fucking Smash cipher, that's just tainted now.
Yeah, that.
Good lord.
Ooh,
Damn.
I can't listen to no one of it. My thoughts on it. Now, I don't think I ever told you guys, but around 13, when I was 13 or 14, I played a lot. I actually went to tournaments out here in California. There was a lot. Now, none of them were related to Smash because I was more into Street Fighter back then. The point that they looked at me like I was a child. They didn't look at me in any type of way, and there was a lot of people there. And I felt more safe there than I would at like a Smash or an Evo or whatever. Show something, because you're supposed to look at these young minors as children. They are babies. So why are you doing this to them? Why are you using your platform for something like this? And I don't understand it. And here's the thing, I feel like a lot of people who don't sympathize with those people, they feel like, oh, there's no personal connection. But if they ever talk to somebody, like ever ask, because women have stories, men have stories, and it's an uncomfortable thing to talk about, but it happens.
We need to talk about it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're not going to progress at all.
It's not, yeah, and it's like, people, you wouldn't expect it out of a Smash tournament. Like, no, it's like, this is a game where we all have fun. This is a, like, it's not a kid's game, but it's for everybody. Like, and then Evo, like, I'm like, that's had multiple sexual allegations. I didn't know the people who made it were also involved. Because there's been multiple allegations of sexism, racism, all that going on at Evo. And then this is the icing on the cake. I'm like, I don't understand people's mindset with
Fucking
this.
Evo creator being someone who was also involved. You at that point, it was just like, well, there we go.
Yeah, and it was like, the reason why it shook me to the core is because me being involved in tournaments before, and it was like, I was like, most of the reasons I even like switched up my channel and all that to what I wanted to do. I enjoy fighting games. I enjoy all of them. But I don't understand how that can lead to this. How can you like, oh, I'm gonna use my platform. Like, how do you, what goes on through your head to where you're like, I'm gonna use my platform to take advantage of somebody?
Well,
You know
I
what
think
gets me?
I think it just goes back to a lot of like the macho alpha man mentality that came with video games itself. It's honestly rooted just in that, and that kind of mentality and that sexism and alpha male chauvinistic kind of way that a lot of people think, as we've seen with all these allegations, just bled into higher ups and leader positions, which is why we're seeing so many of these stories come out finally. And it's all going to go back to the root fundamental thinking of how we view people, how we view each other, and it's gonna take time and a lot of reflection. It's gonna take hard discussions, which, to be honest, it seems like people are just not ready for. But sometimes you gotta be force fed.
Yeah. So it's like, I'm just in my, I don't know, I was in my feelings about it because I was like, it's something I'm close to. And the thing is like, dude, I bought a whole ass Switch for Smash. Like, I wanted to play with everybody, and I very like in a very weird place because I was legit going to stream Smash the day all of this happened. But after like going through it that whole night, I was like, I think I'm good. And it was like knowing that it was people I watched, so it's like, and I know I said I wasn't gonna drop names, but fuck it, we've all done it already. Like the Nairo situation that night, that had me thinking. I was like, I didn't know someone would do that. And then it's like, everyone who tried to apologize with a took longer, it felt so forced, like they faked it. Like everyone sincerely apologized. And then there was people, even on my timeline that I knew, and I'm still not dropping any names on that are like my friends. Like, I'm like, why are you defending them? If it's been proven, why are you still defending them? Like, what is it, like, you can tell they've never had a conversation with someone who's been through that situation.
Yo, can I interrupt?
Yeah, go ahead.
What?
Go ahead, King.
Yeah, what happened with that Sky Williams situation? Because like I've been kind of, yeah, because like I've been kind of told little bits and pieces here and there, but like people are talking about his basement. I'm like, what happened in his basement?
So
Like,
essentially,
Yeah,
like if
I
I'm
don't know what
gonna
happened
summarize
there.
it.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
okay, so
Yeah.
if I'm gonna find a way to like basically summarize it. So I'm sure you're aware of like content creators all having houses and crap, right? Like there's houses of just all these people all living together.
Yeah.
So essentially,
Yeah.
Sky Williams had a Smash
kind of like
house.
a kind of like the pro, like the esports pro team, like they have their own houses and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, like FaZe House, all that kind of stuff. So he had so basically
okay.
Sky Williams had a house for all the different Smash players in the community where all of them lived at. Okay, seems all right. So the thing is that the majority of the shit that went on happened within his house, this house that he had, that he knew about. He knew about all of this. So the best way to describe it is that he was the Jeffrey Epstein of the Smash community in this fucking situation.
Wow.
That seems like that may be a little exaggeration, but I get where they're going with that.
I mean,
Jeffrey
yeah.
Epstein was that's a whole other fucking situation.
So this man doing like human trafficking inside his house, basically.
well, essentially he was enabling pedophilia and all that kind of stuff within the house. He knew that some of these people. The thing is that he knew that some of these people were children that they were bringing in. They did all this, and he didn't act on any of it.
Yeah, and then he
what a scumbag! What a scumbag!
And he asked his roommate for $55K to get his dad treated with cancer, but his dad never had cancer, so it was like really bad.
Oh no, this man gotta go.
Gotta
go.
From what I've
Pretty
heard,
much.
like what $100,000 in debt across like 5 different people or something.
Yeah,
This man got more debt than 50 Cent.
it's insane.
Yeah, cancel that man.
Yeah, he
Not even a man. He's
pretty-
not even a
pretty
man.
damn
He's a scummy boy.
scummy little
Scummy
ass
boy.
boy.
Yeah, I always knew this song off about that guy. I'm just saying that.
He was a little bitch boy. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
I just think it's crazy because I'm like, yo, you had a whole house, and then his whole thing is that he made everything seem like it was him. He was like, he's like, I'm a victim too. I'm like, oh, here we go.
Oh God.
Here we go. Fuck the other people, I guess.
Yeah, my feelings hurt more. Like, no, I don't care. You go. No, it's like that. Adventure Time. No. You go to jail. Cause
Honestly.
yeah. To be honest, now we've gone through all of the topics. I mean, nobody cares about the Twitch stuff. So, Ninja made out with like $50 million on Mix. That was random, but
No, with the Twitch thing. When you mean which Twitch thing? You talking about when they made like a video of talking about Black Lives Matter and all full of white people?
Yep.
well, I didn't know that was a thing. So you go ahead and explain that bonus topic.
Why didn't no one talk about this?
Legit, like y'all was focused on the Smash.
I didn't even know this was a thing, so.
Hold up,
People were roasting the hell out of Twitter. It's just like, again, it's Black Lives Matter. You know, we support Black voices. But why is your video, your promotional video full of white people then?
Yeah.
Like it's that tone deaf hearing that Twitch has had for years at this point.
With full on color blindness.
Exactly. On top of that, just playing favoritism with all their streamers, including Alinity.
Captor 95.
Don't get me started with Validity. Alright, I don't want to talk about it.
But no. Another Twitch, like what I meant with the Twitch scandals is like pretty much the same thing that Smash community went through. Twitch went through the same thing, but they went through it earlier. So it's like as soon as that domino effect went, the Smash domino effect, then the Evo domino effect, and we don't know what's next.
And then Ubisoft actually has over 100 harassment sexual allegations.
Wow.
Oh damn.
Wow.
100?
Report was supposed to.
Yeah, that
say
Far Cry
over
game
100.
hitting different now.
Bro.
Far Cry 6 about to hit different. I'm like, oh look, it's Gus from Breaking Bad. Oh, look.
I know. I was actually pretty hyped for that leak that came out, and then that report of over 100 sexual allegations. I'm just like,
It's like, whoa.
COVID out here exposing people.
yeah.
Honestly, you know
man.
what? That's the one good thing to come out of Corona.
Yeah.
We can expose all these people. Fuck, we're gonna. What are we losing? Most people are unemployed anyway. So screw it.
True that.
What to say? Like, what the repercussions? Like, what, you gonna fly me out of tournament and challenge me? Bro, we can't even come outside.
I can't.
But, we got through most of the topics, but, wow. I guess we can end it off now. So, thank you guys for joining us for another Lost Masters podcast. We're trying to do this at least every month. Once a month. So, closing statements. We're gonna go in order. So, Hector, go ahead. What's your closing statements on this one? Okay, he's going. Oh, wait,
my bad. I'm making a sandwich. I'm trying not to make a lot of noise, right? Your
what
boy's
kind
hungry.
of sandwich?
I got a nice maple turkey and Swiss cheese on a Portuguese bread.
I'll be over there in 2 minutes.
That sounds beautiful.
it's actually pretty fire. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, besides the point. Yeah, thank you guys for listening to the podcast. Again, this is Hector. You can find me on Hector_Ram, Roman numeral II, which is letter capital II on Twitter. I write for LordsGaming.net and CBR.com. Come check out my reviews and articles and stuff like that. All video games all day, baby. Catch it. See you guys later.
Okay, Frozen. Closing statements.
PS5, looking forward to that. Let's hope the rest of 2020 goes slightly better than it has so far. It seems to have gotten worse every single month. So,
Alien invasion.
Yeah. An alien invasion might be the best thing that happens in 2020. Who knows? But yeah, just everyone take care of yourselves. Just try and do that.
Alright. Adam, closing statements, my brother.
Man, it's been a while since I've been on the podcast. I missed all y'all. Like, y'all are great.
Too.
Like,
We love you.
I gotta get back on a lot more. Guys, check out everyone's channel. I think link will be in the description. It'll be great. Thanks for coming out, hearing us talk.
Alright, Bolt, what's your closing statements?
I was barely on this podcast, but cool to be here when I can. Talk a little bit about certain topics, even topics we don't really feel comfortable talking about. But y'all probably talking about like PlayStation earlier, so looking forward to the PS5. Hopefully Xbox can get it together this generation and make some actually decent games, but we'll have to see about that. Check out my YouTube channel, Grimdar, and yeah, that's basically it.
And last but surely not least, Wayne, what's your closing statement?
This has been Win from the One Light Up channel, and I just want to thank all of you for even coming this far. If you could get through the whole conversation that we had, I appreciate that. It means a whole lot. Because like everyone said, it wasn't a comfortable discussion, but it's one that needed to be had. Big thing is to just be aware of a lot of that stuff, because we're like, as this year goes on, we're gonna see more of it. We just need to like really try our best to support each other in this kind of time, in the climate of the world and how crazy it is. But realistically, I just want to thank y'all. That's it. If you guys can, check out my channel. Might be in the link, I don't know. But either way, just appreciate you all sitting through all this.
Alright, and
Tune in next podcast where Wynn's voice is gonna get even deeper. Maybe even halfway through the next
puberty hits for the fifth time. Let's
even
go.
deeper.
Every
Bro,
single
this
month.
man's shorter than me, yet his voice is deeper than me. Like, I don't understand it.
You gotta go for height. You gotta make fun of me for being 5'11".
Yeah, at least you got
Man,
11. I got
5'5".
5'5". But
Yeah, man, don't play
it's-
us, man. Me and Phantom are the short guys of the crew. Come on, man, don't play us.
yeah, look at
I miss
Hey, I don't discriminate.
I miss Oblivion so much.
girl, yeah. Wherever this man is, he's in the cosmos somewhere. But my final statement is, stay safe, y'all. COVID is still a very big thing, and people ain't wearing their masks. So
Oh, people are acting like it just left.
yeah, I'm
It's just like, all right, bye.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Let's go to the beach.
Go to the beach.
Disney just
Disneyland.
It's like a barbecue.
This is probably about to elongate the conversation a little. There was
Go
a
ahead.
Disney fucking put out an ad today.
Yeah, I saw that.
It literally looks like a fucking Resident Evil Umbrella Corporation ad. I just thought I'd say that.
People were saying this is a horror film, dog. Like,
it really is.
Like it's over.
But yeah, COVID's really not.
My boy Bob Iger needs to get on that.
Yeah, COVID's still a really big thing. So please wash your hands, put your mask on, put on some gloves if you got it. Stay safe. You know what I always say: smoke grass, eat ass. But no, seriously, love you guys. We'll see you guys in the next podcast. We'll probably.
I did not raise you for that. I did not raise you for that.
We probably gonna do a lot of time. Love all of y'all. We'll see you guys in the next podcast. Peace.